Hey, what's good, everybody?
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Hello.
However, and whenever you're watching this, we appreciate you because you already know time is expensive.
Yes, much appreciated, guys.
And this is a show where we feel.
That love conquers all.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. If you feel strongly against that, you can either leave this video or continue what we're going to talk about. And why love conquers all. And you're going to stick around. And what we're looking into today is The Crow.
Yes.
City of Angels. And sorry if you're expecting the very first Crow with Brandon Lee that really topped off the
Crow. Yeah.
that really set the Crow name at a indie level pedestal to the point where
It just set the tempo.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
and I mean there is a bit where they are going to talk about Brandon Lee and his impact and on the first movie and how they thought about not considering doing a second movie just because of the tragedy
Right.
of the making of with Brandon Lee passing, but that didn't stop them because they end up making it, and they do a whole different take, and we're gonna dive into this magazine because it chronicles the whole mythos on the first two movies and the making of City of Angels.
Right. The legacy of the Crow character
Yeah.
by James O'Barr.
Right. So yeah, if you guys want to know what happens in this and how it came to be, or you didn't even know City of Angels existed, or they even came out with another Crow movie, and yeah, now here it is. So come look at it with us.
Yeah, man, when he came up with the sequel, I was like, whoa. Like, it was, I didn't expect it. It was something different.
Hmm.
Because I didn't believe in I didn't know, I didn't look at it as the Crow mythos. I just thought of it as one character,
Okay.
not so much as the Crow,
And
what
knowing
it does.
and then knowing that it wasn't the Brandon Lee
Right,
Crow,
yeah.
the Eric Draven Crow.
Yeah. I thought they were going to do like another one with Eric Draven.
Mm-hmm.
But then now reading it, knowing more about the Crow, it's more about the mythos, the spirit of the Crow,
Yeah. True.
and how people pass. And the Crow is the vessel
Yeah.
that brings them back. So,
Like right away after the movie, The Crow, did you like buy any of the comics? Because I don't remember like seeing them in the collection.
yeah, for some reason I never thought about the comics because I only watched the movie.
Oh.
But I knew that the graphic novel was around, but I just never thought of just picking it up
Okay.
till later on.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I mean,
Yeah.
but it's like you were more of like the fact that it was Brandon Lee from first, or did you know that it was a comic book?
I just discovered the book in the back of the Image comic price guide, and then at the same time the trailer came out on TV,
Okay.
and I just put two and two together,
Nice.
and then dragged my dad or pops to go see it, and then I found out it was Brandon Lee and all that. Because magazines started popping out promoting the movie, and then just read about it and found out it was Brandon Lee.
I mean, and then when this got published, I don't know what year it says right.
96.
96.
Wow, 4 years later.
Yeah, because we found this at Amazing Fantasy in the
Back issues.
yeah back issues magazine box, and I was like, hey, what the heck, Crow Salvation? Oh, definitely. So I mean, anything Crow for sure was willing to grab, and so
Yeah, I don't know why I never thought about picking up the comics like after the movie. Maybe I just didn't have my own money to buy it,
okay,
right? And I didn't know what to exactly look for.
true.
But yeah, I knew the graphic novel was out there.
And then this is why this is a gem, y'all. So it's like whatever bin you find it in, or whatever you guys find magazines, if you find this,
Right.
But yeah, come along with us for now and see how it turns out. I mean, and yeah, thank you for bearing with our history with the Crow. I mean, so everyone's a little different in how they get introduced to the Crow.
Yeah.
You know,
Sure.
when I first got introduced to it, I mean, other than the bootleg version of our copy of the Crow.
Yeah. VHS no less.
Right.
Damn, VHS.
Who was it? It was Sting, right? Sting who copied the Crow.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Because WCW was popping at the same time, and I guess they needed a new character.
Right.
And then Scott Hall, rest in peace, Scott Hall.
Rest in peace.
He actually suggested Sting to do the Crow.
Yeah.
So
I wonder if you watched it.
I mean, it had to been like such a more like really a popular film, right? Like everyone knew about it. So
I mean, on top of the wannabe that, but on top of the tragedy that.
Yeah, that surrounded it.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe that was more of the buzz, but I mean,
but the movie was better.
Right, but I mean, other than that, it's like you really see where Sting like got the influence. Of,
oh yeah, for sure.
You know, the whole trench coat. I mean, not the paint, but he added extra. So, but yeah, I mean, that's how my introduction was, and then watching the movies with you, like continue, like I don't know how many times you watched it.
Yeah, I played that VHS to death. But man, coming out the movie theater with Pops, he was like, "What the hell did you take me to watch?" Because they had like, I didn't know. You know, I didn't know with indie, I didn't know that kind of violence.
Yeah, and how it's gonna be really hard edge, right?
Yeah,
but,
and maybe that's why I wanted to kill the Crow and Brandon Lee.
Yeah. Right.
So then they had a lot of drug use and something I didn't expect.
Right.
Put it like that.
Something not for taking to your little kid too.
Yeah, 11-year-old at that. Like shit, what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I don't think Pops had any more like negative comments other than that. No,
yeah, because you understood he was a fan,
fan of movies.
Yeah,
and all that. So right now in the nutshell, we're gonna get the gist of what was City of Angels is about in picture form.
And this is Sarah from the first one.
Oh yeah,
she much older now.
So the timeline of this is about 8 to 10 years after the first movie takes place, and they are in LA. Yeah, and like we get to see it later in the magazine, but the way they treated it looked more like a dystopian, futuristic type of LA, and yeah, it was pretty cool. And totally. I think it was actually like a miniature set they made. Yeah.
I mean, it looks pretty good. I mean, same tone as the first one.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think just us being biased, honestly, just because of a Bruce Lee fan and just a Brandon Lee fans, like that's not the Crow. Like, we've always tied the Crow with Brandon Lee.
Right.
Like just for us personally. But
yeah.
Again, it's kind of just leaving that first movie alone to itself and embracing this for what it is. You know, you really see the mythos that you were talking about.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like now, okay, I understand why. It's different every time.
Yeah, the spirituality to it.
Yeah. So if you watch the movie, there's different characters.
For sure.
It's that's what the mythos is about. It's the Crow.
So it's the main villain, Jediah, or Judah. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, the main villain, Judah.
Judah, yeah.
And here's Iggy Pop, who James Barr.
The inspiration for the Crow, as far as physicality and body type, and that rock star, flamboyant, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you really see Vincent Perez really own the character.
Right. But he really believed in the character as well. Like he understood what the mythos was about. I like the paint.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I tried doing this like how many Halloweens? Like 3 Halloweens in a row as a Crow.
It works.
Yeah, it was fun. It was simple. It was fun.
Right.
You don't have to dress a lot. I think the only downfall was like I had short hair. But when you start watching the movies, like, oh, the other one that had short hair.
Oh yeah, with like Edward Furlong.
Edward Furlong, and then Salvation with Kirsten Dunst, like a short, clean cut almost. But this long hair is better. It's more mysterious.
Right.
But they're all great. Cool. Day of the Dead. Yeah.
And I think it was pretty cool who tackled the script writing for this was David S. Goyer.
Oh yes.
And, you know, the writer for Blade. And
Batman Begins.
Batman Begins.
Yep.
So, you know, just seeing this, like, man,
He really likes dark stuff. He's good with that.
yeah. Before this, he did Puppet Master.
No way. The first, yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So maybe
Yeah, he's
just
been around in the game for a while.
so just taking out a dark tone, really knows how to execute it.
Ravage LA.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool pink. Maybe I might try this Halloween. We'll see.
So you got a quote here by David Goyer. He says, "It wasn't until I got on the internet and said I was writing the script that I discovered how passionate people were about this." So I mean, yeah, you do. It is just one of those mixed reviews, and I guess with the fans, whether do they want something, do they want it or not,
Right.
you know?
Right.
And I think, other than making it for yourself, I mean, if there's a fan base for whatever you're making, you know, that's who you make it for, right?
Don't worry about the box office. Just make it for the one that you know will like it.
Right. That's you know, it states here in the magazine too, like, for the first movie at that, and later for the second, that these fans said, like, this is a movie for us. Someone finally made a movie for us.
Yeah.
Right. Like, you had everything from your action, from your romance.
Yeah.
You know, from the angst and despair. Like, everything is in here without the overuse of action and explosion. You know, 80s muscles.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you can add nice story to it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And a compelling story at that, like, without having a finger pointing agenda to it.
Yeah.
You know, it's
like a good bittersweet story.
right?
Right.
I mean, you still can have that, but like, just, you know, put it in there nicely. You know, it's like where it just blends.
Yeah.
you
Don't
know?
just dump it in or put unnecessary. You know, they don't need it.
Right. It's like, who can't relate to a story like this? I mean, a revenge for a loved one. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like,
Punisher, right?
yeah, pointing exactly. And another one, RoboCop.
RoboCop.
You know, and then Charles Bronson in
Death Wish.
Death Wish. Like, it's totally similar to avenging, you know, someone you lost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He lost his wife and he lost his daughter, and like, and then how was he doing it? You know, taking it in his own hands.
All by thugs.
Yeah, right. So, you know, it's you know, that formula of telling that kind of story is there. I mean, but, you know, you can have a superhero or however tone much darker you want to go.
Yeah.
But it's just go.
Charles Bronson.
He slipped out.
I'm doing the show with Charles Bronson now.
He slipped out.
Channeling me.
Someone's talking about me. It's just the crow. See? That's in the spirit of the crow.
Right.
Oh, look. Death Wish.
Wow. There you go.
See, this never intended to be Death Wish, but I think what people will be surprised to discover is that City of Angels, first and foremost, is a tragic love story. I mean, that's totally what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's not ripping. It's more like it's universal.
Yeah, I mean,
It can happen to anybody.
exactly, and it's like you can go, like again, you can go any route. You want to go more horror. You want to more like here. It's like it's more horror and
Yeah.
Gothic, whatever, you know. But if you want to go more action about it, I mean, or superhero. I mean, RoboCop did the same thing.
Oh man,
you
that
know?
was very like, yeah.
So, and no less, it's in Detroit.
Yeah, both.
Right?
Yeah.
Right, both. Or for the first movie,
Yes.
it was
In Detroit.
You know.
And then this is LA. Yeah.
So it's you know, yeah, the story is the same, but it's just how you want to tell it. And there's always this there's the second comic or the third installment of the comic book. There was a female crow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Flesh and Blood, right?
Yes, Flesh and Blood. So, I mean that's cool. I would rather see that crow next, other than I mean there's Jason Momoa rumors out there. I don't know if they're still making it, you know. But Tom Hiddleston will be a good one. You mentioned that, right?
Yeah,
right?
Tom Hiddleston.
I
I mean, I'll take Jared Leto.
I'll take him.
I don't mind.
You know, he's an actor and foremost, and look, he's a rock star.
Pattinson, nah.
Ron Patterson, maybe. I mean, just how he can channel like just that dark, broody, you know, emo,
Totally
gothic,
right.
you know. So yeah, I mean, I totally don't mind it. You know, it's just I just would rather see a female crow this time.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's just like I just want to see a different take.
Yeah,
And because
for sure.
in that story, Flesh and Blood,
Yeah.
she was killed with her unborn child, so that's what she's avenging for. You know, so it's like, I mean, I don't know how it is for a mother to feel that, but I mean, how can you not feel for that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Knowing that you've seen and heard tragedy stories like that already,
Yeah.
and to be put in a comic in a crow format or crow form, you know?
That's yeah. That's deep. I mean, man, that's some strong stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Cool poster. Or I'll take that as a poster.
Yeah.
You got a quote here by James Barr. It says, "The first film ended in such a closed way. I knew there was no way you could bring the Eric character back." Right? I believe so. I mean, I think it will just probably be a really, like, honestly, a smack to the face to Brandon Lee and just what he did and put into the first film.
Yeah.
You know, and knowing that they had to work around the death and they had, I don't know, I think less than 20 days left or 10 days left. I'm not sure. I can't remember of shooting left. And yeah, I think they should, you know, totally left it alone.
Yeah.
And you know, I think it was really perfect. Like
The way it ended.
he did his thing for Shelley.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And yeah, it's better.
Yeah. We're gonna hit the merchandise.
Posters.
Right. I know you got a lot of the merchandise, at least poster wise.
Yeah, I got the calendar and I got the poster.
You still have the posters.
Yeah.
Cool.
Poster. I still have the calendar.
Yeah.
Took it apart. Took the pictures.
Cool.
Maybe next one we'll show you guys. Next, that'll probably be an episode.
Yeah, right? If you guys have the calendar, right, got it from Hot Topic. The merch section.
You never got. I don't think you got any shirts or other than just posters.
Yeah, I got that one shirt from Comic Con and stuff in 08. That's about it. You guys want to pause and take a look? Go.
So this,
Graphic novel.
We got our own copy too. Yeah, we were late to the game, and it's like again we said we watched the movie so many times
Yeah.
that we honestly we just skim through it and just see what parts they did take to the movie.
Yes.
And you know, there's some scenes that they did take down to the T with the pawn shop scene.
Pawn shop, and as far as the thug names. They
Yeah.
kept them.
Yeah, and you know, of course, with the movie, they extended some things. Top Dollar, he died in the first issue, but they extended it to the very end.
Yeah.
They added Tony Todd's character. They added him. He wasn't in the original book.
He was like his right hand man.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, there's certain things that they added and switched around of how the thugs met and Fun Boy and all them. So, but yeah, dude. I mean,
honestly, I haven't read like beginning to end. I've skimmed through it.
Yeah.
And yeah, you could see like the dance scene is not in there. But as far as
like the flashback scenes that he has, like, you know, something like this scene, of course, incorporated in the movie, but they put that in color.
Yeah.
And I think what was awesome with what Alex Parias did, like, knowing him, he dabbled in rockstar music videos. He added that element to the movie, so that's why you kind of you got that feel of a rock video.
Yeah.
That what was that? Like, no, what we get today, a long format short films and music videos, you know. And of course the director of the second one, he dabbled in music videos himself, rock at that. So he was able to rechannel that feel because he feels like, because with how the first film went, like, laid out, it showed that what can be done.
Yeah.
You know, like if you have the angle of a rock video, I guess, like incorporated in a Hollywood film, it's like you see a certain angles that you don't normally see in a Hollywood film.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So like the like we've seen in this and the first two films, it's like the extra zoom ins and
and the up shots and like when he was on the fire escape.
Yes.
When Eric was on the fire escape in part one.
James Barr stated himself that he envisioned the story to be a movie, right?
Yeah.
Like he broke it down in a storyboard format first. He didn't really thought it would be published in it, like in any way.
Yeah.
But
it took him 9 years to make to come out with it.
I mean,
self therapy mostly.
Yeah, I mean, of course, he was dealing with the loss of his girlfriend, and I mean, you really see that work, or that's that pain he was working on in his book.
Yeah,
you know,
work.
And that's, I don't know what any better way of self expression than that, man.
Yeah.
It's like
therapy, like tough therapy, you know what I mean?
Definitely. I mean, he said music really helped steer and build that foundation on the Crow.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
You know, knowing that he did base the Crow on Iggy Pop, but the face paint, it really kind of resembles Alice Cooper.
Right.
You know, just because of how we know him, because we've seen him in Wayne's World, right? Feed My Frankenstein.
Yeah.
But it's like just the way it's done.
Yeah.
You know, his face paint, and maybe James Barr just being a fan of rock, right? He was listening to The Cure, and it's just
Joy Division. Yeah.
Right, and I mean, Alice Cooper had to fall in that line somewhere.
Oh, yeah,
you know, just for like maybe for that rage, you know, aspect, like how, like when you're writing or drawing, like how like to help feel of the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So whatever album like Alice had at that moment.
I'm pretty sure James Barr went to the record shop and they're promoting said Alice Cooper, like with posters.
Yeah, I mean,
how can you not miss Alice Cooper?
Right.
You know.
I mean, so it's like just that face paint alone kind of maybe just resembles. I mean, nothing against if he wasn't, but it just you know,
for sure.
It's
a thought. Yeah.
It's just pretty cool that, you know, if it is, it's like, hey, you know, it's that influences everywhere.
Yeah,
you know?
homage. Yeah.
You know.
Sure.
Oh. But yeah, so these are the other books that they came out. So they got Dead Time, and then Flesh and Blood. This is the one where I said that it was a female crow.
Yeah.
So it would have been cool to see. So Sarah ended up being an artist herself, tattoo artist,
Nice.
and then when she was like painting. She does like other paints, but really melancholic type paintings.
Gothic
type, yeah.
Emo.
Mm-hmm. So there's a big poster of a Vincent Perez as
handsome fella.
I mean, the way he said he wanted it to do his Crow was a combination between Hamlet and Jim Morrison, right? Jim Morrison.
Hamlet. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, you can definitely see the Jim Morrison flavor and attitude the way Vincent channeled it, and yeah, totally.
And the way he spoke, to like you can hear it in the voice.
That Shakespearean,
yes,
right?
yeah.
That tone, that timbre,
yeah.
That projection, and
you hear too, like he has dynamic in the way he spoke in the movie.
Yeah, dude, for real.
Yeah.
And that's why I said, like, in that film he really made it his own.
Yeah.
You know, and
which is great.
What was kind of grim though, that he was told to be careful when you know the fight scenes or the gun scenes came up.
Yeah,
you know, people were hugging him as if like it would be the last. You know,
I got chills, man.
You know, but
getting little chilly bumps.
You know, it's just really hard to feel or to like think of right now. But
man, you can only imagine how he felt when he got that. Like, what? No.
Yeah, you know, it's like.
Yeah, but he still did it,
right? Like he felt comfortable knowing that he kept asking question after question, making sure that everything was safe, and of course the stunt coordinators made it safe, and they double checked everything, and knowing that people labeled the Crow movie, the first movie, as a curse.
Oh yeah.
Right, because you had hard working days where things weren't working properly, people got hurt,
malfunctioning, and
stuff were malfunctioning, producers were leaving, and like they're losing money, and of course the tragedy with Brandon Lee, it's like how not can you not label that as a curse, right?
Yeah, I feel like any supernatural movie, there's like something that comes with it.
Right. Like how they labeled
Exorcist
or Poltergeist.
Right.
And
all on set, like stuff happening.
Right.
It's crazy.
But I mean, it's eerie. In Dead Time, y'all, we got it.
And what's pretty cool about this one, it's Alex Maleev.
Ooh, Alex Maleev.
Right, so everyone knows him off the Daredevil.
Yeah, with Bendis.
Right. But you know, I don't know John Wagner. I don't know if he has any relation to Matt Wagner, but that's the only Wagner I know as far as in comics.
Right.
Other than this Crow, I don't know what else he's done. I mean, I can Google it and then see if what he showed up, you know, else he's done. But it was pretty cool that, you know, James Barr added another mythos, or added to the mythos of the Crow.
Yeah, I like how he kept it black and white as well.
Right, and knowing that he had to hire another team to do it, and knowing that it's kind of hard to, you know, give your baby to another person.
Right. Yeah.
Right. I totally understand that, and knowing that you put so much hard work and sweat, you know, late nights into something they've created. You know what I mean?
And it means so much to you.
Right.
Because of why you created it.
You know, he was there though, as far as when these books were being made, and made sure that it fell in line to his liking, because he was, you know, he likes perfection. You know.
I'm glad he was there for the making of the movies.
Dude, yeah, seriously.
Like every day or whatever. Like he had a say in it. Like,
you know, speaking of like he said, the second film, the workflow was a lot better than the Crow, the first one. Yeah. So the working conditions, you can only imagine what it was like, seriously, for the first one. You know, so.
And it was raining a lot in the first one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that was like
real rain,
or
just the mood of it.
Right, it was just so grim.
Grim, yeah, that's a good one. That's so grim, but so good. Damn.
So, Kitchen Sink ended up publishing the rest of the Crow folklore, or the mythos. So it says here, first 3 issues arc was entitled The Crow Dead Time. And he got another one, was written by John Wagner, I believe. And then the second series was Flesh and Bone, written by James Vance and illustrated by Malieve again. Final installment, you get Wild Justice by Jerry Prasser. And look, drawn by Charlie Adler, Walking Dead. Oh, that's crazy.
Wow.
Wow.
Look it up.
Yeah.
See how it looks.
Sure. And then they had a movie adaptation to this, and then it was written by John Wagner, and then you got Phil Hester doing the interiors. Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Did some Batman,
Yeah.
Robin.
Something to look for in the back issue for sure.
You guys got any Crow?
So in the director's cut of the original Crow, James Barr added 16 pages of unseen artwork and story material. So yeah, so the material got deleted. When I was doing the original comic, the company Caliber told me I could make the story as long as I wanted. They were real new to the business and did not realize that comics run to a specific format, approximately 24 pages. So it came down to a deadline that I just had to cut so much. Had to start cutting things. I mean, yeah, it's definitely something to look for. And look, he had another graphic novel idea that he was gonna hook up with Kyle Hotz.
Oh.
So it's gonna be like a graphic novel format, I guess a bookshelf type thing, where the character he can't even remember who he was because he's so far gone, or like his soul or spirit is so far gone that he's named himself October, and that he sees everything as monsters and demons, like, or as far as who he needs to go after. Yeah, that's crazy. So it's like, it'll be cool to see if James Barr finished this, because I would definitely want this on my collection.
Right, it's like you're sent back to Earth to fight demons. Like, wow.
Right.
Like only you can see that.
As a hellspawn,
Yeah.
Or a ghost rider, or just a herald for Satan. You know what I mean? So, Kitchen Sink spokesman Chris Couch. There are a ton of other things coming out, and he claims that when it comes to the Crow's comics life, we're going to continue to be true in the high standard of the original books and see Crow adventures continuing into the foreseeable future.
Hell yeah.
In that foreseeable future, I mean, they're able to do this, and this was an interesting story because you have a Crow who's of Asian descent.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's cool. So, and you get Christopher Golden and Philip Hester on the collaboration, and Christopher Golden being the guy of Dark Horse, co-creating Baltimore.
Oh.
Right. So it's cool to see that they did that. But I don't know how far or where they started falling off, because IDW ended up with the license. This is issues 1 and 2 that we got so far, that we found in the wild, and Shirley and Golden, not the Michael Golden that we know, y'all, but yeah, it's cool to see that the mythos went somewhere other than Kitchen Sink, or like the Crow. I don't know from when this got published, but it was still going on.
Like bigger labels are willing to pick it up and still put it out.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool to see that we got the second.
I wonder if like James Barr shopped it to these like IDW.
Oh yeah. No, that's true. I mean, shopped it around. I mean, that's like no different from like what Eric Powell doing with the Goon.
Yeah.
What I mean?
Shop it around. See who wants to pick it up.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that'd be cool to see if that had anything to do with Edward Furlong.
Oh yeah.
Wicked Prayer, or if he was part of that. You know what I mean?
I forgot Crow. Edward Furlong.
Well, speaking of actors who could have played the Crow, Christian Slater was supposed to be the original Crow before Eric Draven, Brandon Lee.
Oh no, and River Phoenix, right?
Yeah, River Phoenix, yeah, was set in this.
Wow, before Brandon Lee.
Yeah, can you imagine, like, them being the Crow? Like that teenage angst, like,
Yeah.
can you see, like, okay, just how Christian Slater acted in Gleam of the Cube. Do you see him as the Crow? Like, put the face paint, how he acted there.
Yeah, I think his face doesn't scream like somber.
I mean, why I say Gleam of the Cube? Because of that too
Right.
is a
brother passed.
is a revenge story, you know.
Yeah.
But you're just adding the skateboard element.
Right. Oh yeah, true.
So minus the face paint, but you know, just maybe that gave the studio a hint or a feeling like maybe you can do this angsty theme, but more grit, more gothic like.
Yeah.
You know, but.
Yeah, probably was a heartthrob in the 90s.
But you know, Brandon Lee really just pushed. Like I wanted this.
Man, I don't know how he got it. Man, it's crazy.
I mean,
it was his fate, man.
yeah, I say he was really.
It's a nice record.
Yeah, I mean, he just was just really heavy invested in the character, and that he wanted to. Like, just be part of it, you know, and like he was really passionate about the story behind it, not so much of that it was a superhero graphic novel or whatever. You know, it's just like
the story. Yeah.
They really gravitated to it.
Yeah. He's a pretty good actor.
Yeah, and not to take away. I mean, we're here bragging about Brandon Lee, but I mean, not to take away the phenomenal work that Vincent Perez did. I mean, just really look and the performance. Like, he really went Broadway.
Yeah.
Like that whole theater acting,
Shakespearean,
you know,
acting,
exactly,
Hamlet.
like the Hamlet feel. So, like, probably in comparison to that Broadway theatrical feel, it's like what what Jim Carrey did in
Batman Forever.
Batman Forever.
Right.
Like just how he went from end to end of the camera view. You know what I mean? Just really making everyone work.
Yeah. And the way he talked to Vincent Perez in the movie.
Right, like you said, like he was able to project those words to really make the audience feel for him, like knowing you lost his son. You know what I mean? It's like how are you supposed to feel? It's like Punisher. Like how was he supposed to feel? Mia Kirshner as Sarah. I thought she was pretty cool. I mean, I don't know where was the original actress. Like, I don't know why you couldn't just add her.
Right, just older. Same thing, right?
Right. But I'm pretty sure in between Mickey's, like, he's probably older by now. But probably have a different vision.
Never boring. This is dystopian LA. It's not by James Barr. Will Reese.
Concept design. Oh yeah, so this is what I was talking about. Like they made they built the set.
Ooh, nice.
Right. So I guess when they needed to,
For that one scene when the palm trees were on fire.
Right,
Like,
and Crow.
They had to, I guess maybe couldn't really afford the pyrotechnics. So
Right.
probably do everything inside warehouse.
Yeah.
And just while on that set, you really had that thin tube of a camera just going down the street and just seeing an explosion and maybe just adding the CGI or blue screen that they had here.
They did the same in 89 Batman, right?
Yeah, 89 Batman were all sets. Yeah, I mean, and what's the biggest movie of them all was Star Wars.
Yeah,
you know,
for
how
sure.
that one was a set, and that, like, that's like awesome use of movie magic. You know what I mean? It's like
Makes you want to build little dioramas and stuff.
For real.
It's cool paint.
Right, like she just took the paint from her piece, whatever piece she was working on that night. Just put it on him.
I tried to copy it with a lipstick, just like in the movie.
Did it work?
It doesn't come out like sharp like this.
Oh, it's
And then when you watch behind the scenes, they actually go with a finer tip makeup for like eyeliner, and then just make it sharper edge, sharper point. Like, I just want to copy the movie. Who doesn't want to be the Crow?
Right?
Judah Earl, the villain, the main antagonist.
From dreams of playing comic book heroes, Richard Brooks grew up to menace one.
Wow.
Right, that's cool. I wonder how much he was a comic book fan.
Yeah.
Christian Slayer was a comic book fan.
Nice.
So I wonder how much, if he was gonna get the job, how much would dive into the Crow. You know what I mean? Like,
And now you can just ask his agent, hey, can you give him some Crow comics? Or take him to the comic shop and get all the comics you can get of the Crow.
for real. All the back stock.
Or yeah, I don't even know if you can even get back issues of Caliber stuff back then. So
It's gotta be rare. You gotta be probably go find it in the con or something. Yeah.
I mean, during the time in the '90s, like the shops that were still around our area where we lived, like off of Geneva, and then was it 21st and
22nd Street. There was
Right.
22nd admission.
So I mean, I don't know if those spots would even have back issues, you know, like Caliber at that Crow, you know. But again, like you didn't think about it. You already had that fandom, so it's like, it's like all that was enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, here is Iggy Pop. I think that's like full circle that you based the Crow off of, and he's
Yeah.
you know, Mr. Flamboyancy himself is donning a villain.
So he says here, it's a 98-page script, and I don't die until page 54. You can't
Nice.
ask more than that. Wow.
Yeah, this is the blueprint of the Crow.
Right? You can totally see it.
Yeah.
Right?
Down to the bone. Alright, just missing the
Alice Cooper face paint.
head, man. Right?
It's like you get the two rock stars, put them together. I mean, Alice Cooper had that kind of same flamboyancy in a way.
That stage presence.
Yeah.
You know, if he was the Crow, and I don't know, I'll probably still watch it. Not knowing if it was Brandon Lee or not. Like, just make this comic. James O'Barr's original drawing of the Crow.
And here's the original Caliber Crow comic, number 4. Wow.
It's James right there.
With Mr. Vincent Perez.
So that's cool, knowing that they worked together.
Hmm.
So you know, Vincent Perez did his homework, and he didn't want to disappoint. You know.
Of course, you want to be there with it.
And they're like not to show up Brandon, but more like, you know, I want to hold up the movie.
Yeah, so, I mean, when he was pitching it around, companies wanted, like, to incorporate more moody, more mood, more violence, but there's a company that was willing to take it, but he didn't see that vision. He wanted they oversaw the book's pain and angst right here. So
Also,
I mean,
someone else wanted to do the movie, but they didn't
oh
want.
no, just to publish the book.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So before Caliber, he was pitching it around,
Oh.
but you know, people oversaw what the story really meant. So the personal tragedy aside, you know, driving force behind a Crow was music, and again, a death that of Joy Division lead singer Ian Curtis, right? that band, Ian's lyrics were the main catalyst. His lyrics had a profound effect on me, like two lost souls trying to touch each other through glass. His suicide over his worsening epilepsy just reinforced things even more, since I'm an epileptic myself.
Wow.
Wow. You know, it's like when you really put yourself out like that, like you really appreciate your work.
For sure.
You know,
Yeah.
it's compared to someone who treats it like a poster child, compared to someone like James O'Barr, he just lets the work speak for itself,
Right.
and then explains after.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you really feel, and you see it in the work, right?
Yeah.
It speaks for itself.
Mhm.
You know, you can tell what is commercialized compared to what's really from the heart.
Right.
You know,
right.
what the souls really put on the page. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It's like unfiltered,
Right.
like straight expression.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it's like they ask every artist, oh, like, what were you going through when you made this, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No matter what it is, music, art, whatever, writing, you know, oh, well, like, what made you do this? Like, something that I went through at that time.
Right. And it's kind of ironic, right? How corporate wants to capitalize on sorrow and pain and despair, and it's like
Yeah.
all they see is bucks, big bucks.
Yep.
Mm.
Obviously, the top dollar.
Right.
No pun intended.
So it says here he based it on. Oh man, top dollar. But yeah, I mean, you can see that he based it off of Iggy Pop. The face, the bone structure of Peter Murphy.
Oh man.
Right. Iggy is where all the neo ballet sequence in the book comes from. Facially, Peter Murphy was Eric, since I thought he was really cool and has great cheekbones. Project sat on the shelf nearly 8 years before its creator found a receptive home for his dark, angry vision of justice. Caliber Press released the first 32-page stapled book in 1989, and The Crow immediately became a cult item.
Damn, in '89, 3 years later, made the movie.
Shit. Originally planned as a 5-part miniseries, the project saw 3 more issues released before it was picked up by Tundra Publishing, who reprinted the material in a 64-volume entitled Pain and Fear, Irony and Despair, before releasing the final installment, Death, in '92. Fans had to wait over 2 years while perfectionist O'Barr labored on the series' denouement. The wait only increased the comic's cult status. In the wake of the movie's release, the omnibus edition, available from Kitchen Sink Press, has gone on to become one of the best-selling graphic novels of all time.
Hell yeah. Which is that? Hell yeah.
So, I was having some difficulty finishing the 5th issue. The comics creator recalls, I wanted to tie up all the loose ends and maintain the integrity of the book. There's a shootout on the street corner where about 30 people die. I really needed to temper that with enough flashback sequences so readers wouldn't lose their empathy with the character.
Okay.
Well, so the enormous body count and violence needed to be depicted tastefully in a very cinematic fashion. Shit.
Damn.
Right? I knew there was an audience out there that could identify with the book's pain and anger. And angst, I'm sorry. But yeah, totally. I mean, at some point at stage in time that you're gonna find something, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Or you're gonna find some similar situation.
Yeah.
The Crow is without a doubt the most violent, omnivorous, tough, and soul-emptying things I've ever done, O'Barr says before responding to the question of why. Let's just say I know my dark side intimately. Despite the book's blood-soaked vigilantism, the comics' die-hard fans tended, surprisingly, to be female. Maybe it's due to Eric's androgynous look, or perhaps it's because every girl who wishes for a love as strong as Eric's is for Shelley, Barr says.
Wow.
You know, the love story aspect.
Yeah, love conquer though.
Right? It's like if you take away the drugs, the sex, the hard edge, and if you really take it as a romance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a romance first.
For sure. Tragedy and romance.
Right? Indeed, behind the pain and fear of the crow, love remains the guiding light.
Nice.
The artist's dedication in the second volume of the book simply yet eloquently says it all. For Beverly Ann, it reads, "I'll see you in heaven, doll."
Right, so you really gotta respect James O'Barr, and for 9 years, you see
His work really transcend, and you see the different type of art techniques that he was dabbling into.
For sure.
I mean, if you want to say perfectionism, you could probably see the perfectionism. It's like to the T, he's getting down what this room or what this church needs to look like. You know what I mean? And you can really,
You look great.
you can really admire this, this type of line art and textures. And if this is not a guidebook for you of how to learn, knowing that he self-taught himself, it's like, dude, like anything is possible if you just want.
If you want to learn and do it.
If you want it, do it. You know what I mean? It's like why let someone dictate how your book wants to look like?
Yeah, like don't you know what I mean? Forget about the money. If you want to do it, do it. If you love it, do it because you love it.
Right? It was obvious that James O'Barr turned down the first offer that he got because they wanted to change the story, and it's like, no, you have to take it for what it is because that's what the story is. You know. It's like, and like the only way he had a say or a change or he okayed the change was for the movie, you know?
Yeah.
And which is totally fine because, of course,
leave that name right there. But yeah, of course, you already know that movies and comics are two different mediums, right?
Yeah.
Movies, millisecond. Comics, panel by panel,
Beat by beat.
beat for beat. So storyboarding in a way.
You fill in the milliseconds in comics.
Exactly. So of course, and knowing that he's on set for both,
No, that's great.
you know, really had a say, and
I'm really happy about that.
really had that collaborative effort, and you know, you didn't leave the creator out of the dark, out of anything. You know what I mean? It was really their hands on.
so James O'Barr,
Thank you for creating the Crow.
Love you, man.
Yeah, man, I watched your shit a lot. Till this day, we still watch it. Probably gonna watch it later.
Right. And to how much we love it. I mean, you bought the album.
It's still original. It's still original cover, case.
You bought the album, man. So,
I actually fucking bought the album.
dude.
I was still in grade school when I bought this.
Whoa.
Man, I played it at home. Mom was like, "What are you listening to? Why are you listening to this kind of music?"
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm like, what? It's only rock music.
right? Then it's like, and in case you don't know what this is, y'all, it's a CD.
Yeah, music, right? I just keep telling it's Brandon Lee. It's
Right.
Brandon Lee. It's the
Right.
Crow.
It's a CD. It comes with a booklet. Right?
Oh,
A little fold out thing. Talks all the songs.
all original, guys. All original.
It's cool.
Brandon Lee on the
That's really dope.
Brandon Lee on the CD. That's cool, right? So yeah, maybe we'll do a deeper dive on this, and y'all can see maybe we'll give you our thoughts on the music and the bands that can contribute to this album for sure.
Yeah, or go look it up. Go listen to it right now.
Because honestly, this is like some of the songs on here is what inspired us to play.
Yeah, the Cure's on there.
The Cure #1 for me, guys.
For sure.
And just that one song alone, man. Just that
The straight montage.
dude,
Oh.
all the time, man.
I think that's why I like it so much. Is there's that one part like, of course you want to be the crow.
That's what. So don't tell me you play that song and put the face paint. That's it.
Yeah, dude, come on, you had to. Yes,
Man,
that's how much I love it.
you to the point you chased me around the house.
There you go. Dude. I love it.
You try to reenact. You should have remembered. Like, what the hell?
With the short hair. Like, what is this? You on some crack, man? You on crack, man?
Oh man,
that's what I did to you.
You should have remembered.
This guy's on something. Now this is Brandon Lee, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Drake.
So he was so down for this role. He lost even more weight from his athletic build from Rapid Fire. He went slimmer.
Yeah,
you can
tell.
Yeah. So he really wanted to emulate the Iggy Pop drawing that James O'Barr did.
Dude, mind you, he's only 28.
Yeah, that's crazy.
28 years old, man.
You know, Alex Proyas, he was saying that what really made the film was his performance. You know, like anybody can't disagree with that.
Yeah. And he said he did good improvs.
Ernie Hudson, yeah, right here. He says here. Brandon had a lot of ideas, recalls Ernie Hudson from Ghostbusters, who plays Officer Albrecht, the policeman who aids Eric in his war against the bad guys. We improv'd a lot. He would always add something, like the scene where Eric visits Albrecht at his apartment. It wasn't in the script, but as Eric is about to leave, he picks up a picture and asks, "Who's this?" Albrecht replies, "It's his wife." But they were getting a divorce. Eric tells him about Shelley, and it's a very strong moment that tells you the value of life you have. Man, it's crazy. It's like you really know and see that Brandon really understood human nature.
Yeah, the human emotion.
Right.
Like, I mean, that scene he was talking about, the improv scene. It's like he was talking about Shelley, where it says like nothing is trivial.
Yeah.
Shelley thought things were
little
true.
thing. Yeah.
And I wouldn't have thought that was not in the script. I mean, that was well done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
As if like they weren't even the characters for being them.
Yeah.
As if like he took a break from being the Crow character and just being Brandon.
Right.
And Ernie Hudson just talking.
For real, like that's just them chilling.
Yeah.
So.
Like they took like a 10-minute break, but just real talk.
Yeah, I think that was cool I don't know who edited the movie. I can look up at that, but it was cool that they left that in there.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, they really sold that scene, and knowing this, what Ernie Hudson said, like now you really appreciate what Brandon is as a person. You know, not as an actor, not just a human being. You know what I mean? Like he understood that moment. It's like and how to add to it.
Rest in peace, Brandon.
Yeah, it's kind of cool that they didn't depict him as your typical rock star, like drugs and alcohol.
Oh yeah.
He was more like a real dude, you know.
I agree. Yeah, it's like clean edge, straight. Like they didn't.
All about Shelley. All about music.
You know.
Yeah.
Like right here, like all about Shelley, like.
That love is so strong.
You know what I mean? So it's like I was completely amazed at Brandon's grasp of film. Without a doubt, it was he who defined the character, even at the script stage.
Like he was so invested, dude. Like he wanted to make sure that whatever this book and whatever James O'Barr like left on the paper, he wanted to channel that.
He brought it out.
Dude.
He made it real. He realized James O'Barr's creation.
You know, on the DVD.
Yeah. He realized James O'Barr's creation. It's like a haiku.
eventually we had to retire the VHS and get the DVD. And in this one, Brandon Lee talks about how he wanted the film to remain a black and white.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Man, that would have been so fucking awesome.
Like, I wonder how the tone would be, But of course, what he said, like, for what Hollywood, for what it is, things were limited, and you can still appreciate the film, just that whole rock star video feel, music video.
Maybe the fact that it was mostly at night already gave it that black and white feel.
True.
That would be cool to see black and white, and just still have the red flashback as red flashback.
Yeah. No, that's totally true. Yeah. Mm. But yeah, man.
Something to really appreciate. Like small handful of superhero or comic book movies that was like a hit sensation.
Yeah.
You know?
Independent, no less.
Before this whole MCU.
Yeah.
Like craze. You had Time Cop from Dark Horse, and then The Mask.
The Mask.
Right. And then you get The Crow.
Yeah.
Right. And then even before those movies, you get Turtles.
Yeah.
Right. Of course they end up getting sold, but just knowing that it was like an independent thing.
Yeah.
Or comic book, no less, that it became a hit sensation.
Cult classic.
Dude.
Man.
So that's why, oh man, it's like
The Crow's one of those themes for us, It's like,
it's happened to be alive for this. I don't know. I'm glad we have it.
Right. And now it's like I want to get this version.
Yeah.
Like
See the Angels.
right? Just like see if there's any other than this, if like there's more like interviews or just because we're just fans of the back matter, the behind the scenes, the
process,
the process, the hard stuff, the hard work that goes into this amazing themes.
Probably the best part of the DVDs,
right?
Stuff.
It's like streaming is cool, but I want to see the hard work behind the scenes,
Mute that.
For sure.
Get it.
Let's see, I view the music as a supporting mechanism for the storytelling rather than simply an enhancement for a scene.
Ooh, yeah.
Alright, music go hand in hand, yo.
Yeah, supports the scene.
Right? Can't deny it. Alright, y'all, that's the magazine for y'all. Oh, and here, this is before Tom McFarlane becomes McFarlane Toys and getting these licensed.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so this is pre-McFarlane Toys, so I don't know who's screaming, but dude, like McFarlane really changed the game with the toys.
Yeah.
Alright, y'all, that was The Crow, City of Angels that you dived in with us, and it's the official movie magazine. And again, we found this at Amazing Fantasy comic book store here in San Francisco, and if you're ever around, definitely hit them up. They got cool back issues. It's a nice tiny hole in the wall store, but it's filled with every geeklicious need that you would definitely are looking for. I mean, it doesn't have all like the knick-knack stuff. It really has a love for just books, the comics,
the back issues.
Yeah, so if you're ever in town and you're looking for single issues, definitely hit up Amazing Fantasy.
Please do.
Yeah, so whatever bin you find it in, if you guys want a copy and you want to dive in closer for yourselves, this is what it looks like, y'all. And again, we were there, supporting James O'Barr. We got the movie, we got the face paint, we got the CDs,
we got the white paint, we got the lipstick.
Whatever license that he was able to sell, able to be there. Of course, dead time. So these will definitely be future episodes for you guys,
Definitely.
Dive in with us.
Hell yeah.
And it's again that time, and we have to end this episode with a motivational quote for y'all.
Cool. It's gonna be a good one.
And this one's by Eckhart Tolle, a spiritual teacher. And he states, realize deeply that the present moment is all you ever have. Make the now the primary focus of your life.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, definitely.
Making every moment count every day.
Yeah. Each present moment fuels tomorrow, and all you can do is focus on the now, the present.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you are in the present moment watching this video, but you know, maybe the universe or somehow gravitated to you to watch this video.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe you're a Crow fan, maybe just discovering Crow for the first time, but for what the Crow needs to do is, you know, like in the movie states, you know, if the love is so strong that, you know, the Crow comes back and just
set the right thing, set the wrong things right.
Right, and you know that can go true for anybody, no matter where you are, what stage you are in their life, and in this realm, it's like, you know, everyone has to go through that turmoil.
Yeah.
You know,
Trials and tribulation.
Yeah, it's never a smooth ride, and
not always rainbows and butterflies.
I don't know who told you that, because you know it's you know, it can be a lie sometimes. You know, you gotta see the dark side too, and you know, and it's all about a balance. And for Eric Draven, for Vincent Perez's character, the Crow, you know, they wanted to set things right by putting the balance, you know, for the evil that did, and you know, even though there is still evil, but you know, it's still a step further, or you know, to a different, for a better direction, you know. So you know, again, we don't know y'all, but it's one of those where we're just sharing the light, and you know, how in this book, The Crow in general, the concept, you know, love is the light, and that's all we're sharing. You know, we're not trying to sell you anything. If we were, you could probably sniff it out, but you know, we're just sharing it, sharing what we've created, sharing the process, the love, and the same medium with you all that you care about. And we're gonna have different thoughts and different, you know, arguments about it, but it's all about the human. That's all part of the human emotion, you know, human, it's being a human being.
Human connection.
Yeah. So, and it's the human connection through this digital era. But again, you know, comment below, you know, like, subscribe if you want. If not, maybe next episode. You know, it's okay. But you know, till next time, y'all.
Till next time.
Stay creative. Tell your story.
Do good. Be good.
Have a balance. And
stay independent. Have your own voice.
Yeah. Peace.
Peace. I'm sure they'll remember.